And we're back with episode 24 of the Strawberry Milk Podcast, coming at
Impossible.
you fresh and hot out of the oven, man, featuring me, you,
Me.
and Miss Penelope over there sleeping on the
Yeah,
couch.
she is in a deep slumber.
Wake the fuck up. I'm kidding.
Damn.
Hey, if we're awake, she's awake.
Valid.
She don't let me get no sleep. I'm about to start hopping on her in the middle of the
She
night.
lets me get sleep, so it might just be a skill issue.
Yeah, you sleep on the away from the door.
Take some Benadryl.
Whatever ghost or demon comes into the house is gonna kill me first. How you gonna fight the demon?
Take some Benadryl.
Tell me, how you gonna fight the demon? Do you even know where the
Same way
sage
I fight
is in
my
the house?
demons, bro.
Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
A lot of Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate.
Is it safe to say that that's the first thing we're going to talk
Oh
about?
my god, everybody! Baldur's Gate 3 is the greatest game, pardon the pun, I've ever played in my entire life, and I thought I would hate it.
What was the pun?
Greatest, gatest.
That's a pun?
I didn't say the pun, did I?
No, you didn't say the
Son
pun. You
of
just
a-
said you just said words.
Okay. I just want to talk about Baldur's Gate because it's the greatest game ever. That's all. Love that game.
Okay, then talk about it.
God, I love that game. So I went into it because I don't like top-down games. I don't like third-person games. I hate turn-based combat. I hate
you
it.
hate everything about this game.
I do, and yet it is my favorite game I have ever played in my life. This is better than Skyrim. This is better than Animal Crossing. This game is everything right now. My opinion might change once I'm out of the hyperfixation, but for right now, I'm in the middle of it.
I mean, it's not that hard to be a better game than Skyrim or Animal Crossing.
I know, dear, but this is lovely.
Well, harder than it's not that hard to beat New Horizons because they just abandoned that game.
They ran from it.
Abandonware, man.
Yeah.
But it's pretty easy to be better than Skyrim.
But my goodness, it is such a fun game. I wish that the character customization was better.
Yeah, I was expecting a little bit more like you can actually go in and customize
But you
your
have to
face,
keep in
you know what I mean?
mind that the all of the animations, all of the facial expressions, everything is made through mocapping.
Yeah, everything's very well mapped.
And so you need to have set faces. So it makes sense. I'm just grumpy because
Dude, your characters be giving people the stink eye sometimes.
My characters be crossing their arms, looking them up and down like, what the fuck did you just say to me? When they're happy.
No,
That's
like,
them when they're happy.
Like I saved the tieflings, right? And they're like, yay. And my character's looking at them like, yeah, bitch. Like, dude,
I know.
you fucking I know I'm playing as like an elf or whatever, but I don't have to be such a dick about it, man.
I know, because this playthrough I'm just a full wood elf instead of a half elf. And cunty. That is the best way I can describe how because they just.
Dude, my character's just a fucking dick. Like he gives you like the Riz face, right? He thinks he's the Rizzler or some shit.
He's the Rizzler.
Like, okay, so spoilers for the game, but I don't really give a fuck. After you defeat Ethel, right, and you can go back and talk to the chick whose husband's dead. Like, I had the wand, and like it's like the wand wants to be used. I was like, oh fuck that, it's dark bog witch magic.
He said, damn, that's
and
wild.
So I snapped it. And the chick was like, what did you do? And I'm thinking that it's going to give me the option to say, like, it's dark magic. Your husband wouldn't have been your husband. But my character's looking at her like, yeah, bitch, I just did that. Dude, I felt so fucking terrible. If this was Fallout, I would have lost karma. But it's a really good game. There's a lot going on. I'm really having fun exploring the ins and outs of it. It's been taking up a lot of your time. You've got double the time.
Okay, so here's the sitch, right? As everybody knows, when I like something, I tend to completely like it. And it consumes all waking thoughts. And this is happening again. I feel like I'm 12 again.
You hear that, Penelope? We've been replaced.
You have not been replaced.
I don't know. Then me and the cat we formed our own union against you. Bitch.
Is that why you're on that side of the couch?
Yeah.
It's fucked up, man.
It's our own version of the SAG AFTRA.
But my goodness, is this game, it's beautiful. It is just stunning. Like, I don't know if I mentioned that I have a PS5 now.
I don't know. I think you did.
Okay, well, on the PS5, even though my TV is not 4K compatible.
Hey, we might be broke, but we up, baby.
We up, right? And so it is still graphically so beautiful. You can see pores. For fuck's sake, you can see pores. When you're in the Underforge, everybody's sweating. Well, and you can see it's the most insane. And this is because, like, I understand that, like, might just be, like, just the bare minimum, right?
Yeah.
But coming from my PS4, right? Even that is just jump, and then even just like
coming from the PS4 Pro, like I didn't expect that much of a difference, but holy fuck!
Even if it looks that good, even on my TV, you know what I mean?
Like Ghost of Tsushima on PS4 Pro is shit compared to Ghost of Tsushima on the PS5.
Dude, the PS5 is a fucking beast. Like, I understand, I get it, and it's silent while it does it.
Yeah,
it is silent, and we have Ethernet, right?
Yeah, the Ethernet cable.
So everything is fucking quick. Everything is silent.
You had to
Everything is beautiful.
you got a taste of my luck when it came to game downloads. When you got that first update, though, it
Oh
bricked.
my
This is the first
god.
time I've ever actually see that happen on a console where you have to actually like do the boot into safe mode and like
Yeah,
rebuild the
so
database thing. Like,
my game, my PS5, it's the first Baldur's Gate patch right after
yeah,
the official release date. Because we got the again, we got the extend with the
I
deluxe
saw it.
version.
Yeah, no, so I saw the thing right. If you got the digital deluxe version, which is actually cool because I do
We got a
like.
cool cape.
Yeah, you get the cape, you get like some different camp supply. It's like random little bullshit,
We
right?
got in.
But the main part that I'm liking is the different dice themes, and to me that was worth
Well,
it.
also we got to play it early.
Yeah, you got to play it 4 days early, and it was Saturday, and this is the previous Friday, so like the Saturday when it dropped the early release, it was like you could play up to 96 hours early, and it was that Saturday was September 2nd,
And we're like,
I'm
holy
pretty
shit.
sure, and I was like 96 hours early, you say? Bye.
Yeah, it was oh my god, it is the best game ever. All of the storytelling is just so spectacular to me. Like I went into this knowing nothing about D&D, right?
I still don't know much
I
about D
still
and
don't
D,
know
and I
much
like
about
it.
D&D. I still don't know shit about
But it's a great
Faerun.
fantasy world.
It's so well built and there's so much attention to detail everywhere. I ran into Geralt of Rivia and Yennefer in an inn casually
Oh, yeah, the
in
little
Act
Easter eggs
3.
they put.
Yeah, there's so many Easter eggs and it's so well done and I cannot keep and this is like I just I get seized up with excitement and happiness. I love this game so much. It's amazing.
Yeah, I don't I the one gripe that I have is, oh no, my loading screens, but it is a PC platform built game. And that's why it's not on previous gen because only the current gen of console can run it. Right now it's just PC and PS5, but I think like Polygon, Game Informer and all them like reputable sources have stated that the game studio behind Baldur's Gate, it's a winter release, so I think like a Decemberish release for the current gen of Xbox, the Xbox
That's
Series
cool.
whatever the fuck they're calling
Their
it, man.
loading screens are gonna be so bad.
Every time I look at the new types of Xbox, right, I just think that those like memes on the internet where it's like it's the Xbox 720. I wish that would be so much easier
You would.
because it's Xbox, Xbox 360,
Xbox One
Xbox
X.
One, and then you have the Xbox One S, which is the slim version, the Xbox One X, which is the Pro version, and then now you have the Xbox Series X/S. And if I am already like, "Oh my god, what does this mean?" I can't imagine for, like, those 40, 50-year-olds that have, like, six-year-old kids.
My dad has the Xbox One.
He has an Xbox
He's
One?
yeah, he has an Xbox One,
I thought he had a
and that's where it's
360.
staying. He has my 360 as well.
Oh,
He
okay.
has a 360, we use it for Rock Band, and then we have the Xbox One. And he
Mm.
was like, "That's enough."
Yeah, you guys could just get Rock Band on the Xbox One, and then just
They
plug in
wanted
all the
us to
attachments.
buy the Xbox One version.
Oh, yeah, just get the Xbox One version, transfer
He
your
didn't
save
wanna
data.
pay for it, but
This man's a
so
lawyer.
yeah, still, why would you when the console still works fine?
I don't know, man.
But the PS5, oh my goodness, it's just it's lovely. I'm very happy.
It's a great powerhouse, and honestly, the game still functions great. I don't find myself going back and experiencing these loading screens because I'm not really going in between areas. However, the one gripe I do have is why the fuck do I have to save every 30 seconds? Because like I'm playing on normal, right? Like as I go through future playthroughs, fuck around with the character creator, do stuff outside the box in
Yeah.
terms of like how I like to play role playing games.
Yeah.
Every single fight is just a pain in the ass. I was stuck on an
Dude, that was
area for
pissing me
two
off.
days.
Yeah.
2 whole 48-hour days.
Yeah. No, that's the part that kinda sucks, right? Is that because I've gotten used to it now. Now it's like a reflex for me to
Yeah.
just quick save, right? But getting into that and also getting into and understanding turn-based combat was very difficult for me.
See, that
Like,
wasn't e oh,
sorry, but like, you wanna go?
no, 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 no.
But, like, cause okay, so my whole fighting strategy is I play on the easiest difficulty, and then I run in and I stab everybody, right? Easy peasy, cut and dry, that's all. There's no thought, head empty, just pure going for it,
And see,
right?
there are builds you can do to do that, but
There are, but I wanted to do Druid my first playthrough.
yeah.
This playthrough, I'm doing Bard, which is way more fun because my spells are I play my violin for
Oh,
all the spells.
no, I mean, like, builds with whatever character class you're playing, like, the whole, like, min-maxing thing, like, there's always that person that finds out what skill stacks perfectly with what other skill, and they have to do this every
Ugh,
other time. Yeah,
yeah.
like, not even I don't even get into all that shit, like,
Me either.
I still play it I still play Pokemon how I did when I was a kid. If it ain't a damage move, get it the fuck out of my inventory. I don't care about
That's what
status effect.
oh my
I don't
gosh.
care about debuffs. I
Yeah.
am only built. I'm like my character's a ranger, right? So kind of a mix of damage and like support and everything, just everything. I'm throwing fire bottles. I'm
That's
throwing
like
fucking debuff spells on people so they still take damage. Like,
that's what I had to figure out because my like first one it was a lot of trial and error, right? And so what I figured out, right? Because now that I understand a little bit more,
yeah,
and I feel so smart every time I pull something off too, which is really nice because I'm just like, yeah, I can think. But I realized that how you because leveling up everybody individually, you get like their own status effects, right? Like
yeah,
their own things, their own choices, and you choose. So you're basically in charge of like four people. And at first,
yeah.
that
Four
was
characters.
yeah, that was really overwhelming for me. But then I realized, oh, this is just me as like a cleric. Okay, what healing spells would I do for
Yeah,
my group? Okay, oh, this is me as a rogue. Okay, what would I do
yeah.
like for this? Oh, this is me as a barbarian. Okay, this is what I would do. You know what I mean?
Like if you've noticed how I play, right? So, Lae'zel is my tank basically. She's the striker, the finisher, and the tank.
Yeah.
But what I do is I'll take the aggro for my character because I have a really high armor class, and so people will come up, try to hit me. Lae'zel comes up, fights them while they're focused on me, while Shadowheart's the support, and she kind of takes care of stragglers in the back if she fucking hit anything. And then Will flanks, like he's going around. He does now that I have it to where he has like necromancy spells.
Yeah.
I'm now, I'm summoning little minions so that I can just overwhelm the enemy on all sides.
This playthrough I with Shadowheart because I'm on my second playthrough. I'm doing the Dark Urge playthrough. It's so much fun.
Is
But
she
so
hitting stuff this time?
no, but so what she does have though is this she has this spell spiritual weapon and it's literally a summon spell and you summon and it's a bonus
Oh,
action.
I have that.
Yeah. It's so good even though they cannot move anywhere. Like if the enemy walks away from them,
It's like 20 something feet
it's the
for
most
movement speed. So
obscenely small
the
thing,
the
but
game
it's
is
so
the
helpful.
game is so fun and it's rewarding, right? Because it makes you feel how you like it makes you feel and it makes you experience what you think D&D would actually play out, right? Because at
Yeah.
the end of the day, D&D is a tabletop game. It's all about imagination unless you have like an over the top group where you have like, minis and you actually make maps. And because some people go all out, they have tables dedicated to this
I've seen people
where
make
they're
like
actually like,
dioramas.
yeah, or like some dudes they get creative and they'll use like Legos and it's like a Lego um type of thing. But this game gets all the fun, right? Because my least favorite part and the least fun part about actual D&D in real life is your DM and your party.
Yeah.
If you have an absolute shitty DM, like they can put together a good story, but they don't know anything about role playing,
Yeah.
they don't know anything about world building, or they're like, oh, well, that's not realistic. Motherfucker, it's a game.
Yeah,
It's
the
a
whole
fantasy
point is a
game that
fantasy
has
role play.
gods and spells and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let me be a little goofy, right? Um, the game does a really good job of blending realistic combat as much as this type of game can go, right? Um, with like cartoonish elements and stuff, like sometimes just stuff's a funny surprise, or sometimes you just roll a bunch of like negative. You miss a bunch of checks in a row because I don't play with karmic dice. Get
I
that
play with
pussy shit
karmic
out of here,
dice.
man.
I
Oh
I
my
don't like to
god,
punish like this is I think our difference in
it's not even
play styles
punishing.
is that I play games because I want them to be fun and you like the challenge in it.
Yeah, because the challenge is fun to me. I'm still
No,
having
that's what I'm
fun.
saying. Like we have
Yeah,
different like
but like I don't know. The karmic dice seem to make it too easy. Like I because you're way ahead of me,
yeah, it does not make it
and
easy.
like I've gotten to the points where you're at, and I've either failed or passed the checks that you've either failed or passed
Yeah.
yourself, and it still happens dramatically different with the choices we've made, how I interact with the characters, right? Because like even though I'm role playing, I'm still thinking like, well, what would I do in this situation? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the whole fun of it.
Like, not like it's nice to be a goody two shoes and help people, but sometimes the person that you think is a dick is the one that's in the right. So I'm like, I kind of got to go with him, or I kind of got to do this, or if like the boss fight is extra annoying, right? And the NPC is kind of like a dick. It's like, oh, it took you long enough. Now I'm like, oh, you got to run your pockets, bro.
Yeah.
I was perfectly content with saving your dog or saving your child or whatever. If you're a bitch, now I'm gonna need some gold.
Yeah.
Give me the shillings, bro.
Yep. No, like this second playthrough, like I got fucked over by the tiefling kids in
Mm.
Act 1 in the Grove. And so this time I'm letting them get their ass beat because, they did steal that person's fucking
Oh, the street
locket.
urchins that are inside the
Yeah.
cave.
So like I let them get smacked and then I caught the other one trying to pick my pockets and then they were all mad at me and I'm like and like so, like it was Mole, right?
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh, you messed up, man. Like you owe us big time." And I was like, "You're about as scary as a rock, bro. Like shut the fuck up." And she's like, "I'm going to tell the guards that you are scaring me." And I'm like, okay, run it. And I literally just went up and hit her.
See, I like that even because for me, remember, I accidentally went in there because I like got the check for the cave and like went into the cave. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, I'm going to give you to the count of 10 to get out of here. Then I'm going to tell the guard like that you're scaring us. And I'm like,
Do it.
okay, what's the worst that can happen? I walked back out of the cave and every single person in that camp wanted to kill me. I had to go back like 30 minutes
Oh, nobody
because I
wanted to
didn't.
kill me when I left.
Oh no, so you can still talk to Will, but there's like this other tiefling that like kind of sucks at fighting the dummy,
Yeah.
right? And when you talk to him, I guess he's like a new guard and he'll start attacking you. And then like other tieflings will start attacking. Like the whole camp will eventually attack you. And I'm like, are you kidding me? It's so fucking annoying. But like the little annoyances aside, it's still not enough to take away from just how like immersed you can get yourself in this game. Like I find myself spending hours doing damn near nothing at all. I'm literally just walking around,
Yep.
just stumbling into shit. The story with that, so there's multiple ways to do stuff, right? It's not like a normal RPG, like say let's take Fallout for example,
Yeah.
where you can do every faction being your teammates here,
Yeah.
that you can do all of their quests up until a certain point and then just make the decision and then that's the one you go through. No, each of theirs progresses the main story, kind of, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if you do Lazelles, it's still going to take you through all of Act 1 versus, going to the Underdark or Moonrise Towers. Like for the first like half of the first act, I didn't know where the fuck the story went. I was like, wasn't I supposed to do this or wasn't I supposed to do that? And that was
It's
kind of on
hard to
me
wrap
doing
my
all
head.
the
No, it
side
was
quests. But now that I'm in Act 2, it all finally connected.
yes.
And I'm like, oh my God, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, the I'd say that the quests, like how they have it set up is very not great,
Oh no, I like the
but I
quests. I
understand it now. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, no. So your issues with the quest marking, like, because it doesn't tell you where it is on the
Wall of
map. You
text.
have to just go, yeah, and you got to like read stuff or like because it's your actual character's journal
Yeah.
writing stuff down,
Yeah.
which is why it's important to talk to people because sometimes that just advances a quest you forgot you
Yeah.
had, or it'll
And
just
once I
give you a
learned how
little
to
bonus.
access the journal, it was over for these hoes.
No, yeah, no,
Once I figured out the inventory system, oh.
I like the
Once I figured out I could rest.
I like the questing structure. I like how many quests are available, but fuck, I know that I'm gonna have to make some tough decisions towards the end of Act 2 and in the beginning of Act 3.
I like
But I just need Shadowheart to fucking hit something. Oh my god, this bitch! Like, if she could miss a healing spell, she could. Like, she misses everything, and that happens in D&D and other roll top games. You know what I mean? Or roll top games, role playing games, where you'll just have a bad roll, you'll have
yeah.
a bad hand, or you just fumble something. But for all of my characters to have advantage and still miss, something's got to be against me. My luck has to be shitty.
I
Like you,
think
like you've
so.
seen it where like I've got like a mini boss on by a thread, and I'm like nothing can go wrong. I just need one more hit, miss.
Yep.
Okay, well I have Lazelle, miss. I have Will, miss. I have my bear summon, miss. I have my weapon summon, miss. I'm like, all right, Shadowheart, hit him. Cast fireball and just or firebolt, whatever the fuck it is,
Ignis.
and then she just misses, and I'm like, why? And then the enemy hits you with like 6 attacks, and they're all criticals, and then they still have a bonus action to move 50 feet, and
Oh
they just
my
fucking Dougie on you.
god. I hate how it seems like so many enemies, especially
There's
when
a
you get
plane
into
flying
Act
over.
2. There's especially when you get into Act 2, they have multi-attacks. And
And
like
see,
it's fine
that's
when my Karlach does it,
yeah.
okay? But when the enemies start
No, see,
doing
and
it, no.
that's one of the annoying things about D&D is that it seems like, fudging dice rolls aside, it seems that the enemy will always hit the higher range of damage that an attack can possibly do.
Yeah.
They'll always be in a right spot to have an advantage. They'll always have the numerical thing. And that's kind of like what games kind of do now. They up the difficulty so that they just put more stuff at you, more stuff on the screen. You know what I mean? And that's like one of the things I wish they kind of did different, but at the end of the day, that's kind of what D&D is. It's you and your 4 people fighting against like 60 things at
Oh my
once.
god. And bodying those bitches. Here's my
Yeah.
thing, right? I in my first playthrough, I gave Astarion and myself the lucky like advantage
Yeah.
things. And so basically whenever anybody tries to hit us, we have like sometimes we'll have an opportunity to pop up and re-roll their attack. Except it really feels like in those harder things, no matter how much we re-roll, it still hits and still does a shit ton of damage. I'm like you're supposed to pick the least amount of damage.
Yeah.
Are you saying that they rolled a crit 20 both times?
No, especially because my character, right? My
Nat 20.
character's my
Oh, I'm still
character's
learning.
my character's armor class is 19.
Damn. My highest was I think 13 or 14.
Oh, I've got all kinds of bonuses on. Like I'm slowly building at my party. Like Lazelle, surprisingly, my fighter has the lowest armor class at 16,
Mhm.
but she has all kinds of shit to where it's pretty hard to
Yeah,
hit her.
Karlach, in my first playthrough, she is up to, I think, 151 health, like,
Well,
hit points.
they give you more hit points on the easier
Well, I'm
difficulties.
sure, and also I have her in armor,
Yeah.
and I gave her buffs and shit.
Yeah.
But it's just astounding because I'm like, "Yeah, get her, bitch," and then she just fucking goes up and beats their ass. I love okay, we should talk about her comp.
What do you mean our comp?
Like, mine, I'm running with my bard,
Mm.
right? And then Astarion is
Well,
the
no, no.
rogue
So
slash,
talk
like,
about
sniper.
your playthrough that you're still on. You keep calling it your first playthrough. You're still playing through it.
Well, I am, but I'm taking a pause because I was getting bored. So my first playthrough, I am a druid, right? And it's really really fun. I really like being a druid. I like the armor it comes with. I like all of the dialogue options that open up. I think it's really cool. I think that if I were in this universe, I would want to be a druid, right? Or I'd want to be a druid and a bard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's neat. So I have myself, and I used to have Will, and then I kicked out Will when I got Karlach because hello. So it's me, Karlach, Astarion, and Shadowheart. Shadowheart has been with me since the beginning. She's my boo. You know, she's like we're besties
Oh,
for the
Shadowheart.
resties. I adore her. She has kept me alive. I've kept her alive. Like we've been fucking through it.
If thoughts could brood.
If thoughts can rude, but it's great. So on the second playthrough I'm doing, I have the same composition because why fix what ain't broke, man? And
I mean, well, it's
it's
all the type of play style that you want, right? Like the only reason I'm not using Karlach is really because I don't really dig like so on the horny side, I don't really dig the muscle chicks,
I don't think the muscle
right?
chicks either.
But then from like a tactical side, I've already built up Lazelle
Exactly.
and I already have her with the proficiencies needed for the type of armor and the weapons that
Yeah.
I've already grown accustomed to having on my thing. So I'm like, I'm not going to swap her out.
That makes
Um,
sense. My first playthrough, Karlach replaced Will, and Will was useless and missed everything. Was basically cannon fodder.
Will's somehow gotten better. Like once I gave him a different piece of armor, and I started giving him like necromancy spells. Holy
I
shit,
had him
dude!
with clouded daggers.
This guy is I got cloud daggers
Clouded
too.
daggers is fucking OP.
Scorching ray,
Scorching ray's good. True missile
like
or
minion.
that's what it
Lazelle
is.
has magic missile.
Magic missile. Thank you.
I have call lightning on it. It's so good. Like yeah, he only
Lightning
has
bolt and
two.
lightning strike are so fucking good.
Yeah, he only has two spell slots, but I've also got him with some.
Taking me and my
two
two
spell
spell
slots,
slots.
and I'm leaving. I've got him with some dope ass weapons, man. Like my party's it's a thing to be
his
reckoned with.
his
So
romance scene was so cute, and I felt so bad.
you're like you're so skinny. I was like,
He has
damn.
little twig arms. Okay, it ruined it.
He's the blade. No, he's
He's
strong. He's the
so
blade of frontiers,
lovely.
man.
They look like little twig arms. Okay, and then Gale, I breathed near him, and he was like,
I
"I'm in
hate
love with
Gale.
you," and I was like,
I
"Yeah." In the
hate
second
Gale
playthrough,
so
I
much.
chopped off his hand.
This dude's fucking a goddess, and he's like, but I want more.
I know
I need the
the
knowledge of the forbidden. He's
audacity.
and you know what that got him? Magical diabetes.
I mean, you only have to give him 3 things, and then his quest line
I know,
keeps
but like
going.
I was like, okay, and like I realized that like the thing I gave him at first, I forgot what magic weapon it was, but it was kind of carrying me in the first
Oh,
part, and I
yeah.
gave that to him because that's like the only thing I had, and I was like, oh well, I'll still have the weapon even though it's not magical. Nope, consumes the
Yeah,
whole
he
thing.
eats the whole fucking thing.
It's like this weapon has been destroyed. It what?
Come again?
My magical sword is what now?
Yeah,
Right?
no, it's a problem. Oh my god, Lazelle hit on me this last playthrough.
Ooh,
She was saying like something about like how like she wants to like pull me away somewhere, right? And I was
yeah.
like, no.
Oh, me
I
and
think
her
what I
fucked
said
in a
was
temple
one
in my
word,
playthrough.
yuck.
Oh,
And
like
she was like, "You're gonna regret it." She's like, "You're gonna look back on this day and hate your answer." And I'm like, "I'm good."
dude, like so my main pursuit has been Shadowheart because she's so fucking
She's
adorable.
so
Like every time she's like
adorable.
the darkness inside of me, I'm like, okay, baby.
You're like, "Okay,
Um,
baby, I'm here.
but
Let me get a candle."
with Lazelle, like I wasn't even expecting it to happen
Cause
because
she's aggressive
I was
with
gonna
it.
pursue her in like another playthrough. Like
Yeah,
I was gonna go down the line with everybody,
I
right?
respect it. Yeah,
Um, but I forgot what. Oh, when we talked to no, not the Gith Yankee. It's when we're talking to that one tiefling you have to interrogate because
yeah,
she's like he has seen Gith Yankee. He knows where the creche is, right? And she starts like talking foul to him. And like I succeeded in all the checks, and my character, I was like, Lizelle, chill the fuck out.
yeah,
He's not gonna help us if we're being mean. She's like, see, you're just a bitch like him. And I was like, don't you ever fucking talk to me like that again.
yeah.
And then we go, I take a long rest at camp,
It happened to me right after that scene
and
too.
then her tone like changes, like
I
because
thought
she's
that you
green.
were like a yellow, like
Yeah, and she's
cowardly.
like her species version of blushing, and I was like,
I
I was like, is she flirting with me, right? And I was like, I'm not going to think anything of it. And then another situation came up, and she wanted to do her own thing, and I was like, no, this is the best option for us. I was like, if you're going to be a part of this party, right? I was like, you got to like, I'm the one calling the shots here. Like, you can't just keep saying, oh, I'm going to do this and fuck you guys.
Yeah.
And then she was like, very well. And then the next thing at the thing, she was like, I want you.
Lae'zel responds to strong leadership.
I was like, God damn, Lae'zel. I was like, all right, well, let's see where this goes. Because for some reason, Shadowheart's more of a slow burn, which I don't mind. But I think I honestly
she's
think.
traumatized to shit,
No,
man.
but like, I honestly think she's bugged for me because her dialogue options haven't changed. And I realize everyone has the same repeatable options, but she talks about the same thing. And I got the same cutscene with her 2 times now.
Well, I mean, it also might be you might have to wait until Act
Later
2.
in the
You might have to wait till you get to Shard's Gauntlet, and then you can actually get more stuff.
I am really hoping, right? But man, Lae'zel's throwing it at me. Lae'zel's throwing it at me. So I'm like,
Dude, this most recent playthrough, Astarion's throwing it at me. I'm like, fucking finally.
The twink vampire.
He did not want me my first playthrough.
He's not
he
cool.
He straight up said it's not you.
You know how like all the
It's me. I have standards.
You know how like all the basic super straights are going for Karlach, right?
Yeah.
Which really says something about them.
I love Karlach.
How everyone is just flocking over Astarion. I'm like, he's terrible.
Dude.
I hate that. It's just too much. There's such a thing as too much sarcasm.
Yeah, I didn't understand the Astarion thing, and then I started playing, and I was like, oh, okay.
He's a little twat. That's what he is.
Yeah, he sure is. But
Oh my God,
let's talk about Halsin.
Halsin. Yeah, Halsin.
Yeah. Love him.
The big druid bear guy. You have that bear sex.
I did not have bear sex.
For anyone that actually had bear sex, so Halsin's a druid,
I want names.
And he can turn into a bear.
And him big.
And one of the options is that you can have sex with him and have him turn into a bear.
Yeah, because
he gives you a fucking he looks at you like he's smoldering as a bear.
Like, okay, so like the whole thing, right? Like you're in your romance scene and he's like, yeah, like come here to me, right? Like nature intended, right? And then he fucking hulks into the bear, like looks at you with like a little like eyebrow raise, and then he comes back out of it, and you have an option to be like, that was hot, do it again. Or you could be like, yeah, I'm flattered. Okay, let's just keep going.
I'm not a furry. Don't ever turn into a fucking quadruped around me again.
I'm so sorry. Like sometimes when my emotions run high, and it's like, that's cool. Keep that the fuck away from me. But like, cool.
Right when my emotions run high, right? Having just played God of War, when he did that, all I could see was Atreus.
Oh no. Oh no!
I was like, dude, that's what Atreus is gonna say when he's a grown man, and he gets a little something for the first time, and he just turns into a fucking bear.
I saw an edit on TikTok where they were like, I want 2 boyfriends, and I want my boyfriends to be boyfriends, and I want my boyfriends to kiss the boyfriend.
Oh my God, dude.
I was like, how is it hive mind?
Listen, all I know.
Basic bitches. I love when content's made for me.
All I know is that my party is the superior composition. Will, Lae'zel, and Shadowheart.
But my party's great too.
Nah,
you have to have Karlach. She's so good. She's
just like we're the #1 podcast in the 805, baby. My party.
Cannot confirm.
My parties. No, we can confirm. I have the email from Mr. Tube himself, Mr. U2.
Oh my God, Mr. U?
He said, hey, at the Strawberry Milk Podcast, you guys are the #1 in the 805. And I said, really? And he said, yeah. That was it.
Can I see that email?
Yeah, here, hold on, let me pull it up. But yeah, you see, it's right there.
That's
he sent it like 2 weeks ago.
Wow, yeah, that's from Mr. Tube. Yeah,
from Mr. Tube himself. Strawberry Milk Podcast, the #1 podcast. #1 podcast in the 805. And don't fact check that. You don't have to.
Don't fact check.
My sources trust me, bro.
Trust me, bro. I saw
would never lie to you, our humble, loyal, returning viewers, all of our supporters, everyone. I would never lead you astray for imaginary cloud. Come on now.
I saw a text post that was a picture of Halsin, and it said, my source is that the trees whispered it to me.
He speaks for the trees.
Oh, he's the Lorax.
He is the Lorax. Dude, I just wanted to, I think when I do the Dark Urge playthrough, I'm just going to fully fuck resisting the evil. I'm killing all the druids.
Dude, no.
She's a bitch. I'm over here like, hey, there has to be some way that.
No, I wanted to kill her.
I'm like, there's some way that we can make it to where you don't send the tieflings out to die, because that doesn't seem very.
Will strike. Shut the fuck
I'm like, that
up.
doesn't seem very nature balanced. Like, if there's one thing about RPGs is that everybody just talks down to you. I'm like, dude, you don't know me. I will fuck you up.
Yeah.
But what I
Yeah.
do like is that your reputation kind of precedes you in this game, right? Like at this point, you've killed bog witches, you've killed giant spider lairs, you've cleared out goblin camps, you've killed mini bosses, you've done this, you've done that. And so people are kind of not talking as foul, except for the fucking Gith Yankee.
Yeah.
They're like, listen to me or die by my hand. I'm like, you're going to die by my
The
hand and I'm
Gith
going to
Yankee
take
are
your
so
swords.
fucking annoying all the time. Every encounter that I have with them, I just want to fucking shoot myself. They're so obnoxious. They constantly dodge everything, right? Like you have to only use magic, which is fine, except I only have a certain number of fucking spell slots. And it's like they
Cantrips.
I know I use a lot of cantrips, but like it's like literally it's the most fucking obnoxious thing because they're just dodge, super jump. Here I'm opening a portal and summoning an infinite amount of these fucking other Gith Yankees. Fuck you.
Oh, what I
Leave
just do
me
is
alone.
magic and I'll debuff them. And then with my guy, I have like an area of effect stuff. And
Yeah,
so when they leave, like even if they misty step, I'll just put it to where they're probably going to go because they just go to the corners and flank.
they do. And but like what's really cool about being a bard, right, is that I don't know what it is, and I don't know if it's like something I chose while up like while leveling up, but it's like every time somebody like misses or like tries to shoot some like one of my party members and
Yeah.
misses, I just talk shit and turn invisible. So like literally like and that I think the invisibility is my dark urge like cape, but literally like my character just will automatically be like, "Oh yeah, that's why your mom's a bitch, right?" And then like they take psychic damage and like or like they miss the next one too because
Your
it's
mama.
literally just yes, I'm literally your mama in all of these fucking people. And it's so funny because I was fighting the goblin camp and one of them tried and like it was I think a spider and it shot at him. It shot at Karlak and it missed. And I said some shit like you smell like a troll's fucking ass, bitch, right? And I'm like, why am I beefing with a spider?
What was it in Monty Python, right? It's like your father was a hamster and your
Your
mother
mother
smells
smells
of
of
elderberries.
elderberries.
Elderberries are
Elder-
nice. They taste
your
good.
voice crack.
I
Oh,
know, because
you
I'm trying
precious
to make it
baby.
crack. What the fuck are you
I
talking?
love you so much. You're so cute. Give me a kiss.
The hell off
Give
of
me,
me.
give me a
Get
kiss.
Penny,
Give
help.
me, give me,
Penny!
give
Penelope!
me.
But you know
Still
what's
haven't
even more
received a kiss.
annoying than these Gith Yankee? Cell reception. I'm trying to make this not a whole Baldur's Gate. Listen. I know the new iPhone's
But
coming
think
out.
of the name. Think of the name we could do for
Listen.
Baldur's Gate.
I know that the new
Ball to the
iPhone is
wall.
coming out, right?
Yeah.
The iPhone 15, and it's supposed to be the most innovative
My
thing
coworker
ever
wants
with
it.
groundbreaking USB-C. Way to catch up, right? I talk shit as I have an iPhone, and I'm trying to get AirPods and transfer over to Mac because for a creative space, Mac is better. If you want to argue with your mama or take it up with
Did you
Markiplier
listen? Yeah,
because he's
did
the
you
one that
listen to
swayed me.
Distractable?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but like I know every data company, it's not just Apple does it. They throttle your data.
Yeah.
Why the fuck is it happening when the thing's not even out? I have a 13. I was going to say 14. I have a 13.
Yeah.
Right? I understand it's about to be 2 models slower. Why do I have 5G
Yeah.
full bars? I open TikTok or Instagram. It's like your network's unstable. Bitch, what?
Well, that's less the
Whose network?
phone and more just the
Whose network?
service because this area in particular is just terrible
No,
cell
but I have
service.
full bars,
These
full
towers were last
reception.
updated in the 80s,
No,
you
but
know?
no, but like full bars, full
Yeah.
reception, full everything. Oh, we can't load it. Why?
Wha-
Why? Why not? You
Have you
stupid
considered loading
bastard.
it anyway?
No,
I
like
just love the
I
TikTok
don't
where it's like
understand it.
your network. It's this girl in a British accent. Your network is unstable. Well, that's the network's problem, not isn't it? Not mine.
No, but like
Take
seriously,
it up
like
with the
it's so fun. Like
network.
we pay all this money for this shit, and it seems like it barely even works. Like our internet aside, this is the best internet I've ever
Oh
had
my
in
god,
my
I'm
life. Like
living the
that's why,
high
like
life. Listen to me,
I
but
was
we're
like
broke, but we're up.
sympathizing with you when like you had to like restart your whole console. That happened to me so much when I was in DC because barracks Wi-Fi sucks ass, right? Like
Yeah,
it's internet at the end of the day, but updating and when your updates are like 50 gigabytes at a time,
because
like
I
I'd be
swear
there,
they
but
would
like, all right, boys, time to play Halo, right?
updates would wait until you come back from a shit day.
Yeah,
A shit day, and then it's an update. My
and
fucking
your
Wi-Fi
automatic
at my
updates
dad's
wouldn't.
with NAT type strict
Ooh,
with fucking one router way off in the living room.
now see that's
And like it was literally, I think, like 8 gigabyte speed, right?
yeah.
And my updates would take I think the median was 7.5 hours.
Now you see this is
Every
why.
single update. And it was always when I had the worst day at school, when I was just coming back from a week at my mom's, like when I'm just like having a fucking bad day, right? Like I'm like, fuck, right? I left this shit at my mom's. God damn it, at least I have my fucking video games. Son of a bitch!
No, like, and so then this is the duality of me growing up, right? So at mom's,
Yeah.
We had Wi-Fi. It wasn't the best, but it was Wi-Fi, right?
Yeah.
When we got a little bit more money, we got kind of a better internet. But like, even if nobody was doing anything, like say everyone was just watching a movie, like an actual movie, not on Netflix, not nothing, like an actual movie, because
Yeah.
we have a fuck ton of bootlegged movies from back in the day. And so we're watching this primitive device called a DVD.
That just reminded me. I'm so
DVDs,
sorry.
babe. Physical media. But anyway, and say I'm playing like Destiny or Minecraft or like GTA 5 back in the day with the boys and my stuff's lagging, right? And then like the Wi-Fi's not working on my phone. So I'm like, okay, I might as well, like I disconnect my phone, reconnect it. And that was like my test to see if I had to go brave the living room
Yeah.
and ask mom if I could reset the router. And she'd be like,
Because they'd always say no.
yeah, we're like, no. She's like, we're all using it and nobody has their phones. The computer's not on. Nobody's doing anything. Like I said, again, we'd be watching like an actual DVD.
Yeah.
And just no. And I'd be like, she's like, what are you even doing anyway? I'm like, oh, I'm playing games with everybody, but it's like really laggy, and I'm coming through like a robot. I just want to see if I could reset it real quick. She's like, you don't need to be on that fucking game anyway. And I've been playing for like a total of 30 minutes.
Yep.
Whereas at my father's house, right?
Yeah.
Shout out to a real one, man. If there's one thing my dad would never stand for, right,
Mhm.
was fucking strict or moderate nat types.
Amen.
We'd be
Because
sitting there, we'd be playing, right? Or because with the headsets, like sometimes he could hear like the chatter coming in from
yeah.
the game lobbies. He's like, why do they sound like that? I'm like, oh, it's been a bit laggy. Um, or like, fucking stuff's coming in choppy or something. He's like, huh. He's like, and he'd go look at the router and he'd be like, looking at the lights, and if the light's blinking, it's like, oh, something's happening. You should just like reset. He would reset that shit. No questions asked. Tell grandma and grandpa, be like, yo, I'm gonna reset the router. Okay.
Yeah.
Because this is still a little bit before they had cell phones.
Yeah.
Um, reset it. He'd be like, here, just turn everything off. Give it about like 30 minutes. Be like, all right,
Yeah.
dope. Go, come back. That shit was crystal clear,
It
lightning
totally.
fast,
You
as
talking
much
about
as
this?
like early 2000s, early
Hey,
2010s
that shit
internet
was
could be
lightning
fast.
fast. Like you talking about this reminded me of all the times when I'd be playing and it was fine, and then it was just shit, and I'm like, God damn it! Right? I walk out, my dad's watching YouTube.
Right.
I'm like, are you fucking watching YouTube? Playing Words with Friends on his phone. His laptop's open. I'm like, why
I
the fuck do you hate
Oh, dude,
me?
I remember, it was at a apartments that my dad was staying at for a while. Back when games were on Channel 3, we had a TV in our room there,
Ooh.
and it was pretty funny because if I turned to Channel 3, I could see him playing, right?
Yeah.
And I'd like, even as a kid, I'd be like, oh, I can't hog the PlayStation all the time, and it'd be fun to watch my dad play some games, but I'd watch, and fuck, my whole train of thought just left my mind right now. But anyway, so I'd
No.
go and I'd watch him play, right?
Yeah.
And he'd be like, "Oh, do you want to play?" And I'm like, "Yeah, a little bit, but probably later. I kind of want you to play." He's like, "Oh, not here. Go ahead." Right? And he'd save and he'd hop off. The parent thing to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so like sometimes I'd sit there, I'd be like, I'd hear him playing, and so I'd turn on my TV and watch. He'd be playing like Driver, or he'd be playing like COD or something, and it was like really fuzzy because it's just like the leftover bandwidth or whatever the fuck from the TV, and so like
I never
the
even knew that
TV.
was the thing.
Yeah, no, I don't know why it happened, and it feels like a fever dream. But I was able to watch it, and it was like staticky, right? Because you're getting like the leftovers from what's going
Oh,
to his TV,
interesting.
and I'd
Yeah.
sit there and I'd see what he's doing.
Just being nosy.
Yeah, no, and it was pretty cool. Um, Back in my OG Battlefront 2 days, but yeah, dude, I don't know. We got to get this damn bandwidth together. We got to get this internet together. I'm out here
This
paying all
our
this money.
internet
I
is
have full bar.
perfect.
I've never had less reception with I've never had more bars and less reception in my life.
That's funny.
And my life's about to get that much older, babe.
It is.
Your
You're the
boy's
birthday
about to turn
boy.
26,
We're
man.
staying up late playing video games so that we can celebrate at midnight,
Yes,
right?
we are 26 years of life.
And isn't that
I'm
lovely?
going
You're
over the hump.
finally an even number.
I mean, 25 is an even number.
I know, but it's a different even number. You're being even number. That's why I was so excited for 22 because it's the most. It's beautiful. I'm
You're
I'm
soon to be
doubly,
23, my love.
triply excited for 88.
Nobody likes you when you're
Dude, when I'm
23.
88, I'm going
If
to ascend.
if not, if that titanium dioxide in our food
Let,
has anything to say about it.
if there is somebody
Not red 40.
puppeteering everything, if you make my favorite number 8 and strip me of the chance to reach 88, that's just fucked up.
You know what? No,
That's just cruel.
whoever, whatever type of energy or what have you is pulling the string.
I
This
sure
is
would
this
like a
is
job.
no, this is my one request for lifespan. I have to get more than whatever my whatever my oldest grandparent is. At least 1 year more.
Okay.
Okay.
You want a
So right
prestige.
now, the leader is my grandfather on my dad's side.
Okay. How old did he get?
74.
74. Okay.
Yep. That's
We
the
could crush 75.
Yeah, I could get to 75.
Fuck yeah.
No, like even then, remember on like a previous episode I mentioned, I was like, if I die, if I like turn 75 and they're like, you got 6 months to live, I'd be like, you know what? This is a very decent run.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a good C average. I feel like that would be like my rating if I was like a 2K character or something, right? Although I would not drop common loot. Fuck that. Your boy's blue. Okay.
Can I do a topic switch because I just got angry thinking about it.
What?
So my Starbucks has been closed for remodel
Oh my god,
since
guys, the Starbucks
July
saga is
9th.
unfolding right now.
It continues.
Wait,
So
July?
July 9th is when it closed.
Holy shit.
That's what I'm saying. So we've been closed for a very long time. For the past 2 weeks, we've been able to go back to Starbucks. Like, as Starbucks people, like, we've been like kind of stocking things, organizing, making samples, like unloading pallets, like kind of making sure that we're ready to go, right? They took down the big barrier because there was this big hanging barrier and that kept guests out, right? Nosy little fucking runts that they are. But now that big barrier is down. So we have like, it's like, you know how like when you're in line at the bank and they have those little like the little things that designate where the walkway is,
Yeah.
like that you can unhook and they zip back, you know what I mean? We have those, except they're bright yellow and black striped. So it's clearly a do not enter. Right on top of this, our sign is not lit up. Nobody is in Starbucks attire. No drinks are being made.
Yeah,
No other guests are nearby
I, I,
ordering things.
I was gonna ask you, like, are you guys like in somewhat uniform? But no,
No,
it's just Target
we're
uniform.
just in Target clothes. None of these things are happening, right? We have not been open. Nothing says that we're open. Nobody thinks that we're open, right? There is no evidence that we are open. 7 people today, because Carlos literally, my coworker literally started keeping a tally. 7 people came in under the barricade. Or I was opening it and
Barricades.
walking underneath it. And like I opened it to walk through it and they would just walk in right behind me and I'm like, hello? Are you guys open? No.
No, bitch.
And it's the most astonishing thing because they're genuinely surprised. Like they're genuinely shocked that we're closed. Because they just walk in. And I can't even
Listen, I need those aliens that Mexico just showed
Cull the herd.
on.
Cull the
I need
fucking
those
herd.
aliens that Mexico just showed on their news networks to be real, so that they
Mhm.
can start eating people.
Yeah.
The aliens,
Yeah.
right?
No, it's I need
People are like
they look small enough they could just kind of
like
launch.
as a kid, right? You look at stuff
Mhm.
and you're like, who would even need a warning? And then you're grown up, right? And you're like, who would even need a warning for this type of stuff? And it's those type of people.
And it's
Like,
everybody, every single person. Are
I
you guys
hate to
open? No.
I hate to sound like a boomer, right? Because what is it? Correlation isn't causation, but a lot of fucking like bigot type people just hate on Starbucks for some reason. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? From the red cup bullshit to the fucking they say happy holidays instead of Merry Christmas
For
bullshit, right?
fuck's
Like,
sake. You know?
I gotta agree though. Most, and it's just most retail customers in general are fucking stupid, and it seems like your Starbucks in general
It
attracts the
attracts.
stupidest of the bunch, bro.
Literally, they have pebbles for brains. Like
Literally, the
this
light is not
person,
on. Nobody is home.
this bitch straight up, and she's like our age. This bitch straight up ducks under the walkway, walks up to the counter, and goes, "What? Can I get a white mocha?" I was holding something. I don't remember what it was. I literally looked at her, looked at what I was holding, looked at my coworker, and looked at her again. And I just held the eye contact because that's what you have to do with these fucking morons. You have to maintain eye contact, make them feel
You just have to tell
how
them to get the
fucking
fuck away from you.
stupid they are. And every time I put out samples, because all we can do is put out samples, right? It's all we can do right now. It's fine. Samples are fun. I like to make the little mini frappuccinos.
Yeah.
It's pretty. It's cute. Something to do. So I'm doing that. These grown fucking people are instantly up on me while I'm carrying a fucking wobbly tray with wobbly drinks with no lids, and they're just fucking up on me. What is that? I write signs. I have a little sign
Every time you
on
do,
there, and they're literally on me, snatching it out of my hand, cutting me off when I'm walking, or they just gawk at us. They just stare at us until we look at them, and then they're like, "Are you open?" Use your fucking words. These are all grown people.
yeah,
It's like
from
there's
our
no
age to like
words.
60 something.
There's no words that can describe just the fucking levels of just idiocy. Like this fucking lady literally opened the barrier, walked through, and we're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, we're
Like,
actually
unzip
closed."
that
Yeah,
shit?
unzipped the barrier, walked through. We said, "Oh, we're closed." She's like, "Oh, I just wanted to grab a sample." Yeah, I'm bringing the samples out. You can't just come through. I was like, "Ma'am, like, please don't come through the barrier," because she did instantly. Four other people tried to fucking walk through the barrier. I'm like, "Hey, please
Are
don't
they
walk through the
are they
fucking
all just
barrier."
waiting?
Yeah, they're literally like fucking sharks. They literally are just sitting there. When you like, you guys aren't open? No, next week. Ugh, this bitch literally went "Ugh," and then stomped away.
Oh my
What
god.
the fuck? Like these people are fucking
Dude,
insane.
I'm
And
glad
it's
that
this is what gets like
I'm
one
glad
or
that
two is I'm so sorry.
I got my love oh, I have to cut you off on purpose because you're actually turning red right now from seething anger. You gotta
If
seethe plus cope for a
if it
second.
was just one
I
person, but it's every single
woo-saw, my love, woo-saw it out. Now,
one.
I do like that as the as much of a buzzword that it is influencing, right? As
Yeah.
influencers have been on the rise, so too have normal people like us that are like, yo, like first of all, just let people do what they want, right?
Please
It's
stop
free,
recording people in
it's free,
public.
it's freedom of speech, it's freedom of action, but it's not freedom of consequence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let them fuck around and find out. Like that video on TikTok of that chick's like me when I get my food and she's doing that fucking little happy
And the
dance,
girl's just like,
and
"What
the
the
chick's
fuck
behind
are
her
you
like, what the
doing?"
fuck are you doing, right? Yeah.
And she thought everyone would be on her side,
Yeah,
and everyone's
I'm
like,
glad that we're fine. Like people like that, like we're fine. And I'm saying we're because I'm on that boat too. Like, bro, I don't want to see like like if it's a dead day at the mall, right? Do your dance,
"Mhm,
do your trends, do your prank videos. I don't give a shit. But if it's like crunch hour, like say if it's like how we're going into the holiday season, if I see some people trying to do some type of fucking like dance or group photo or any type of like little part for their like vlog on a Saturday, Sunday, Friday, like a shopping day, like we all got shit to do. We got to lock in. It's crunch time.
yeah,
I'm going between them and their camera.
yeah."
I don't give a singular fuck,
And
dude.
this is something that's
Um,
terrible, is that
but like
I
it seems like
sorry.
people are just so out of touch with reality, and I'm glad that we're finally in a place where people are comfortable with calling them out.
Yeah,
Because before, like I'm already an asshole, right? But before they, think like, oh, you're just inconsiderate. I'm like, they're the inconsiderate ones.
yeah.
Like, for example, with your Starbucks, you see all this flashing tape, you see all of these barriers, and they see you carrying these samples. Wouldn't you treat that person nicely?
R
Because you'd maybe get an extra sample because that like you should always treat people with their due respect. You know what I mean? Treat people how you want to be treated. Now, if a person's a dick and you can see it from a mile away, because some people you can, fuck them, right? But in my experience, whenever I'm nice to people that have some type of item that I want, even if it sounds devious, if you're nicer to them, you'll either get that item quicker or more of that item.
Yep.
I can't tell you how many times I've gotten like extra samples on samples on samples. Like the Chinese places that are in like malls and stuff where they're always like, here, come try this out. I'm like, oh, thanks, man. Like, damn, that's actually pretty good. Like, what else do you guys got behind? They're like, oh, here, let me here, try this, try this, try that, try this, try that. Damn near got like a whole fucking like one time I decided to try it. I had like a little tray because I'd eaten somewhere else, and I wanted to see what they would give me. And I had like 14 toothpicks in the thing. And at that point, yes, I did buy something afterwards, right?
Yeah,
But at that point, I was like, damn, bro. Like if I was those people that they're like, how much can I eat
yeah,
without spending much? And they like their lunches, they literally go to like the little markets and get samples. Cause if you go to like 20 different areas and get 20 different samples, it's basically a meal.
yeah.
But like, holy shit, dude. Like every time you tell me a story like this, I believe you even beyond the 100% that I already believed you that if I had applied to that job along with you,
You would've
I would have gotten into a fight already.
yes.
Either with one of your well, wait, in this scenario, it would be one of our coworkers,
Yeah.
or just with one of these people. Like, well, why not? Well, because I fucking said so.
No, that's a terrible thing is that I'm no longer customer servicing. I don't fucking care. I make drinks and I'm really good at it. And being able to make samples again has reminded me I'm really good at it.
Yeah.
I make delicious, tasty little beverages with beautiful little dollops of whipped cream and a cute little drizzle. I'm good at it. It's okay. And you know what? If I am good at it, I don't need to be kissing ass with people who are fucking moronic. That's why I don't smile. I don't say anything in a chipper voice. I literally just look at them. Just what?
Hey, you know what I gotta say, babe? Shout out to keeping it real, man. Let's
Yeah.
get a clap.
And you know what? You know what else? Haven't been fired. Haven't been performance conversation.
They open on the day and then you get fired.
Oh my god. No, we can't because we won't have enough people. But it's
All I'm
just
saying, right?
my
Like it's
goodness.
unlikely that either of us will be fired from our jobs, right? But if we ever were, I'm snitching. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call OSHA.
Oh, that reminded me. I was actually going to file an ethics complaint today.
Oh shit, about what? Or
My manager has been talking shit. Like, she literally was talking shit to me about my coworkers who
mm,
are beneath her, her subordinates. She's talking shit about to me.
now see if
And
there's
that
one
violates the ethics policy, baby girl. Sorry.
as much as a lot of the shit that you learn in any institution, but for this case, I'm gonna apply it for my time in the military, right? Like as much of a lot of bullshit sayings that they have, they're like, "Oh, perception is reality." That just means you're lazy and you don't like to ask questions and you just like to chew people out. The one thing that is good, right?
Mhm.
You always bitch up.
Yeah.
You always bitch up, right? If
And
you're
that's
a
what I
supervisor,
agree.
you only bitch to other supervisors.
Yes.
If you're a manager, you only bitch to other managers.
Because here's the fucking thing, right? Because also I could tell that she was getting a little annoyed with me today because she was like telling me to do stuff and I was asking the questions, or she's like, "Well, why'd you guys do this?" And I'm like, "Oh, because that's where it was." Like she asked why I labeled something on the shelf there. She's like, "It clearly shouldn't go there,"
Well,
and I was
also,
like, "Well, that's where it was, so
you're
that's
le-
what I labeled."
you're
And I was
leaving out
like,
a crucial fact, my love.
"Well, I was about to say,
Oh,
like I told her, I was like, I'm not getting paid to think of these things. I'm not getting paid to like work around them. I'm getting paid to do what you tell me,
oh no,
and you
that's
told me to label these."
no, that's not. I'm talking about who's the. So I know you have your Starbucks like supervisor, manager, and stuff like that. Who's the person that only works for Target? That's your supervisor that you were saying.
My ETL,
Yeah,
Amy.
isn't that the person you were saying that like she's asking why you guys are doing this, but she's not
Oh,
trained in Target,
yeah. Why?
or she's not
Well, why?
trained for
Yeah.
Starbucks
So
procedures?
we're talking to her. Like, I guess my manager was talking to her about how like the cups aren't fitting in the storage because we were given a fuck. We were told that we'd get a bigger back room and bigger back like behind the bar.
Yeah.
We've gotten smaller. Everything's smaller. We've been downsized really severely. So we're like, hey, there's no room for this. And she's like, well, can't you just? And she took the cups out of their little, because all the cups come in a little sleeve and they're in their little plastic thing for a stack of them. And there's a bunch of them in a box, right?
Yeah.
She took them out of the box. Was like, can't you just store them like this? And Ariana's like, well, no, because the box keeps. She's like, well, but you know what they look like. What? What? And then me and my coworker and I were walking to take something to our back room, right? And she goes, what are you guys doing? Oh, we're taking this to the back room because this and this. Okay, you need two of you to do that? So I dropped the smile. I looked at her, I said, what would you rather I do? And she was like, well, there's just this stuff. I want it to look like we're open. I was like, but we're not open.
There's always stuff,
Yeah. And apparently,
things.
because I brought it up with my manager, I'm like, hey, like this is a thing. Because she was like, why? My manager was like, why is this in here? Oh, because like our ETL, which is like the manager, right? She said like she told me that she didn't want any of this on here anymore. She wanted me to move it. And when I told her, oh, well, I was keeping it there because I figured Ariana left it there on purpose for a reason.
Yeah.
She told me, well, you can just tell her where it is. And I told her, I said, I told
I could
her,
tell you to fuck off, bitch.
no, I said, I don't care about the power struggle. I'm going to do whatever like y'all tell me. I don't care because it's not my problem.
Yeah.
Like you cannot I'm following instructions. I don't give a shit if it upsets you. Like I don't get paid enough to put up a fuss. I don't get paid enough to argue. I don't get paid enough to put in my 2 cents. You
Yeah.
tell me to do some stupid shit like put the signage about in the back? Yeah, I agree. Sounds great. Sure. Why'd you move that in the back? She told me to. Well, but why would you? She told me to. Period. End of sentence. You do not pay me, and I am not in a supervisory position. I don't fucking care.
This is hearing you tell these stories makes me appreciate my job a little bit more, right?
Well, these
And
people are
now
all just
one of my coworkers, right?
yeah.
He listens to podcasts. He has his own podcast himself. Shout out Heatwave Podcast, bro.
Mm.
They're more short form, like 30 minutes, 45 minutes. But hey, I get a hoot out of it.
God, I
You know
wish
what I
that
mean?
was. I'm
Oh
kidding.
my god.
I'm kidding.
But that just makes me like appreciate my workplace so much more, right? Because we had a team meeting
Mhm.
recently. Well, a staff meeting basically. There were some pros, there were some cons, as every meeting does. But you know what? Like how you're dealing with all that.
Yeah.
You want to know what I dealt with for part of the morning while we were waiting for orders to come in?
Mm.
My manager, supervisor, whoever, basically the main guy. It's Sergio. This is the
Yeah.
one I'm talking about. He spent part of the morning just detailing various ways that he likes to cook meat, where he goes to get the meat, the
Yep.
type of meat cuts that he likes to get, the
Period.
type of meat cuts that his family likes, and then
Period.
how he cooks them or plans to cook them.
I like that.
That's it.
Yeah. Meanwhile, all of my managers,
Just dude broing out.
and there's so many managers, and that's what I think is the issue, is that when there's literally like 15 people in upper positions, and all of them are mad because they're middle-aged and stuck in a fucking retail facility.
You
And
know,
all of them are just fucking bitter at everybody who's younger than them, right?
he spatchcocks, babe.
Yeah, he's just like you.
He's also a man of no, I say he's also a man of culture.
And it's the most
Spatchcocking is the superior way to cook your
Target is
birds.
where high schoolers go when they don't want to mentally progress past high school.
I think that's just where anyone goes when they just
And
want a
it's
job and they don't
fine.
want to think about it.
Yeah, and it's fine, except it's literally like high school. I don't give a shit if you like this person. I don't care who's sleeping with who. I don't care about the latest hot gossip. Shut the fuck up. Leave me the fuck alone and let me clock the fuck out.
Well, that's also the different type of person that you are, right? Because, not to sound like a fucking pick me, but, you are kind of built different.
Yeah.
And that comes in part with both of us being neurodivergent, but it's also with just the type of person that you are,
Yeah.
right? And the type of person you've developed into, right? Because I'd like to think that part of
Everyone
you
trusts
in the
me so
past would have
quickly.
been more interested in this, more
Yes,
so than you are now.
I'd say
And
so.
not to toot my own horn here, but I like to think that's me rubbing off on you
I'd
quite a
say
bit. Just
so.
like me engaging with my coworkers and being legitimately interested in what they said after, coming out of my shell a little bit and being like, okay, well, maybe I can, you got to make friends at work.
Yeah.
I'll go
You
back on
have
my also. You
mhm.
have to make friends at work. And I've enjoyed getting to know my coworkers a little
Yeah.
bit more. And I'd like to think that that's you rubbing off on me. You
I
know what I
like
mean?
that. Yeah, because here's the thing, right? Is that while I'm on the clock, I will be buddy buddy. I will be not buddy buddy, but I'll be nice. I'll listen to whatever you're talking to me about. I'll share just enough that you think I'm sharing personal
Yeah.
stuff, but I'm not. And a lot of people, they very, very quickly, and I don't even want this to sound like bragging, it just is. A lot of people trust me very quickly with very little effort put in on my part, and they tell me very personal things.
Well, see, because that also goes in terms with the neurodivergency. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
how, and you've really explained this to me. Like like non-autistic people, like they distinguish that you're autistic, and so they
because
don't
they just
view
tell
you
that I'm not a
like you're a
person, I'm a
person.
pet.
Yeah, kind of. Oh, I was gonna say that. I was like, you're a person. Parentheses like diet, like a sugar-free
Yeah,
person.
like when bullies
They don't
in
see
high
you as a
school,
threat.
bullies in high school, for example, I would be the person they're like, "Oh no, this is my new best friend. This is my new bestie." I'm not a person. Everybody can instinctively somehow tell that there's something off about me.
Mm.
And no matter how hard I try, it's gotten better since I've stopped trying, but no matter how hard I would
And you've
try,
also started standing up for yourself
mhm,
more, which I love. I'm just waiting for you to get into your first fight.
the more that I just let myself be myself and I stopped trying because the more that I tried to fit in, the worse it was.
Yeah,
So
and
now I'm
on
just like, fuck y'all. This is how I am.
and to remain
When I'm off the clock, don't fucking talk to me.
and see, like I'm kind of on that
Unless
wave, but not
unless you're
because
one of the three coworkers I
like
like.
yeah, like with me, like I realized like what I was saying could be construed as like, oh, I just don't give a
I'll
fuck
still
about
be
my
polite
coworkers and
though,
not being a dick.
I'll
Like,
still be polite.
I was never straight up rude,
No.
but you know what I mean. When you're like talking to random strangers, like you're talking to them, you're showing them, kindness because you would want them to show that to you in return. But you're still like, oh, you're just a stranger to me.
How I
You know
describe
what I
it
mean?
is that yes, I will have this conversation with you, but I will dissociate through it because you do not deserve my full attention.
Oh no, see, for me, I'll still be interested in if they're so like with me, like I keep it real. Like if I'm not interested in whatever someone's saying, which hasn't happened yet. Like
Oh,
recently, right?
honey.
I'll, if I'm not interested, I'll just be like, oh, okay, like one where oh, that's crazy, right? But if I am interested, then it is actually more of a natural conversation. But that's just how relationship building works.
Yeah.
But on that note, man, look at us, adulting,
I
learning how
know,
to
and I do want to
navigate the
say,
various avenues of social relationships.
on Maine.
Yeah,
First of all,
on Maine.
happy wedding anniversary.
Oh, I was gonna say that you took the
Happy
thoughts right at.
birthday.
Oh my,
I love you,
I love you
and you
too, my
make me a
dear.
better person.
You literally make me a
Do
better
you want your
person.
present right now on mic?
I are you being horny on
No,
me?
no, 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 no. Do you want your present right now
What do you
on the
mean? I
podcast?
thought I said not to get me a present, my
I
love.
know, but I did.
Please, babe. Is it the thing your mom got me that's sitting there that I haven't opened
Nope.
yet? Oh, I don't know if your mother listens to us, but yes, I have waited. I'm opening it. I wanted to open it when I first got the
Do you
package
want it?
because I know what it is, but I promised myself I'd have discipline,
Yeah.
and then I told you to asked you to relay to your mother that I will in fact wait
Wait.
until my actual birthday. So I will be opening it at midnight tonight because I'm still a little shit at the end of the day. But happy anniversary to you too as well, my love. It has been our first wedding anniversary.
And we
Plenty more to come. Yeah, we
Nothing.
did it. We
It was
relaxed. It was a
awesome.
recluse. I was like, do you really want to? Because we were going to have a picnic on the beach, but it was like 80 something degrees.
No.
And that's hot for where we're at. And like,
All I yeah.
I've always been good in the heat, but you, my fair lady,
All I want to
literally,
do,
because you're fair skinned,
literally, like all that I want to do
haunting
is
this house with your lightness.
stay in my safe spot, our house, playing my favorite games
We got high as hell,
with my beloved husband.
played games all to hell.
Don't we get it?
That we fuck. I mean,
But
but afterwards, I'll get it afterwards, my love. But yeah, no, it was this year has flown by.
it has.
It's been so great. Every
It was
moment with you
just
has
June
been,
and it's already September.
yeah. But 3 years of being together, one of those years being married, I'm looking forward to as many as we can get, honestly.
Yeah.
If I die before whatever our latest anniversary will be, I'll be like, nah, just hook me up to whatever machine because I gotta
Yeah,
make
I'll
it past.
beat the shit
I
out
got
of you.
I gotta make it past that date, bro. Hopefully it's all cyberpunky by then, so I can have like mechanical hearts and shit like that. But before we get out of here, some housekeeping things. If you'll notice, we kind of had a bye week last week, and we were having basically a team meeting of our own. And yes, Penelope, that includes you. I know you're getting antsy because it's almost your dinner time.
20 minutes.
But we have decided to take a pause on the movie review series, right? May come as a shocker because our last video did very well, 180 something views on YouTube.
We
Clap
might
it up
be
for us real quick, babe.
listen,
Fucking, oh
we
my
might
God,
be
best
shooting
podcast in the
ourselves
805.
we might be shooting ourselves in the foot, but it's our prerogative.
Well, no, because it's not a pause. It started to feel like work a little bit.
Yes.
And I noticed that whenever we were behind, it was always when it came to the movie review. And with our jump to video coming in October, I want to see what the workload will be like now that I'll be going back to editing video and doing,
Yeah.
like post-production effects, because there are going to be little clip-ins there. There's going to be some basic level animation that I know how to do with like the VFX and everything within my software. And so I want to see how I handle that workload spread throughout the week versus worrying about how I'm going to edit and structure the video podcast and then edit and structure the video movie review. But rest assured, it will return in some way. It'll either be the actual series itself coming back where we left off, which means
Quick
we'll
Sip
do
season 2.
the Hunger Games. What the fuck is the second movie called?
You got this.
No, I don't. I'm
Catching
failing.
Fire.
Catching Fire. There we go. I wanted to say like catching something else. I don't know, catching hands or some shit.
Catching herpes.
It'll pick up from there. You say catching herpes?
Catching HPV.
Oh my God, 90% of the population has those.
Catching hepatitis.
Oh my God, you mean hippopotamus?
Catching feelings.
Catching COVID in the year of our Lord,
Catching
2023.
the bubonic
But
plague,
anyway,
tuberculosis.
it'll either do that or we'll just mold it into the podcast where it'll be part of an episode, like how for the first part of this we were nerding out over Baldur's Gate. But with that said, if you've made it this far into the video, real talk, real shit, I appreciate y'all. You know what I mean?
I don't.
This is a main hobby for us, you know what I mean? But it's always nice when you look at the analytics and you see people are actually listening all the way through. And Penelope's expressing her gratitude right now.
Motivation to record is much easier when we see appreciation.
I'm always motivated to record, but I do realize that whereas I, like we're not the same person. Like I can always just not grin and bear it because I'll always have fun recording. But like even though I'm dead ass tired and there's other stuff we have to do, like right now because I'm gonna do some tidying up after I edit this video and stuff like that. That's not the same for you. Like I have slightly more spoons in mental capacity for stuff like this than you do. It kicks our asses, but I recognize that it's a little bit more for you, and that trying to be considered because at the end of the day, this is a fun experience that both of us can share together.
Yeah.
But with that being said, we do appreciate all the positive support. We got new followers, new subscribers. Looking forward to getting some more of those. Hopefully, that everyone that's here sticks around as we evolve our content over the time, right?
Yeah.
Appreciating all the positive reviews. Everybody's dropping them 5-star stunner ratings on us, babe. I'm fucking loving it.
Oh,
but anyway,
yeah.
Leave us a like, leave us a comment, follow, subscribe, hit that little bell on YouTube, whatever it is that the algorithm wants you guys to do so you can keep coming back here every week for that top tier premium content.
Not
but
every week, guaranteed.
With that being said, my love.
Yeah.
What's your song of the week? What are you going to leave the people with?
My song of the week is not representative of how I feel because it's very happy and optimistic, but it sure is a good song. It's Dreams by the Cranberries off of their 1993 album. Everyone else is doing it, so I can't leave.
Oh, we were listening to that in the car this morning.
Yes, we were.
That's a good song.
It's been stuck in my head.
Exactly. For me, on my end, I'm going the full simp route. If there's anything that my boy T-Pain has taught me, is that you can always simp harder.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure I've had this song on the podcast before, but I don't give a fuck because this is the first song that I said made me think of you. And it was also the song
We said I
that was going where
love
we first
you.
said I love you to each other. And that is Folding Clothes by J. Cole from his 2016 For Your Eyes
It
Only
was the
album.
almond milk comment that got it for me.
And now, in like every sense of the word, because I do want to have I think honestly, I think that'll be our first video thing, the music episode or like the Halloween episode part two. Either the Halloween will be the first one and then the music one, or it'll be the music one and then the Halloween one
Makes sense.
for our video thing, because I do want to talk about our different music tastes, how they've kind of blended together, how you've reminded me of some songs or some genres that I may have forgotten that I liked, or forgotten that I listened to. Like like I know the words, I just don't. I'm like, oh, this person sung that.
Yeah.
Holy shit, you know what I mean? But yeah, that is it, and we will see you guys next time.
Ugh.